Recent development in Rivers State suggests that things are gradually taking a different dimension in the state. Recently, security details attached to the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Dan Amakri, and the Governor's Chief of Staff, Tony Okocha, were withdrawn. Many saw the crisis as mere internal affairs of the PDP, but now more concerns are being raised. Is the Speaker of the State House of Assembly entitled to police orderly? If he is, what is the justification in stripping a sitting head of the state legislature of his operative rights? We will keep watching events in Rivers State as it unfolds. Governors of the Southeast and South-South geopolitical zones had declared their support for President Goodluck Jonathan. They announced this after a meeting they held in Asaba, capital of Delta State. The governors agreed to cooperate in the economic advancement and political integration of the region. The governors also commended President Goodluck Jonathan for the ongoing rehabilitation of the nation's airports. They have urged the federal government to facilitate the implementation of the free trade zone, construct railway links, establish cargo airports, additional deep seaports in the regions, and other developmental projects.
The governors pledged to strengthen cooperation across the board, with particular focus on development of infrastructure linking the region, particularly federal roads. The governors also called on the federal government to rehabilitate all rail lines linking the states in the region, as well as embark on the construction of railway links between all states. The governors also pledged to work together to ensure the development of all the ports in the region, including the Abia Dry Port, and called on the Nigerian Ports Authority to facilitate the achievement of these objectives.
We agreed to work together and ensure regional cooperation in stemming the threats of kidnapping, arson, pipeline vandalization, as well as other nefarious activities in the regions to secure the region and ensure that the region remains a conducive environment for attracting investments. The meeting was concerned at the condemnable behavior and antics of some Nigerians and their evil collaborators in assaulting the collective psyche of the nation and waging various acts of terrorism. The South-South and South-East governors not only witnessed with Mr. President, the governments of all affected areas, the victims, their families, the majority of peace-loving Nigerians.
Adams Oshomole of Edo and Rotimi Amechi of Rivers, who was represented by his deputy, were absent at the meeting. In a similar development, South-South caucus of the PDP met in Asaba. It was all support for President Jonathan. The meeting, which was attended by Chairman of Board of Trustees Tony Anene, Senate Leader Ndoma Egba, and governors in the region except for Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, commended the initiative of the Petroleum Industry Bill, stressing that when implemented, many ills in the sector will be sorted out. Chief Tony Anene said the political choices and linkages of the South-South have always been determined by the region's commitment to nation building. He, however, accused the opposition party of hijacking the Nigerian Governors Forum. NGF. Chief Anene said this led to the formation of the PDP Governors Forum, in which he is fully in support.
The recent activities of the Nigerian Governors Forum give cause for concern. Instead of keeping to its mission statement of providing, I quote, a common platform for synergy, collaboration among interests, or serving as a bipartisan lobby group which fosters, promotes, and sustains democratic ethos, good governance in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond, unquote. The Nigerian Governance Forum appears to have turned itself into an anti-federal government lobby. Indeed, the general perception is that the LGF has become a formidable group of power wielders, seeking to control government at all levels, including the federal government. What is now beyond doubt is that the LGF has been hijacked by opposition governors and is no longer promoting the interests of the PDP.
Out of the 36 states in the country, PDP has governors in not less than 23 states, representing about 62% of control of all the state governors. The other 5 political parties share 13 states, representing about 38% control. Relying on these statistics, one may suggest that if there is any hijack, the platform must have been prepared by the dominant party. For about 2 years, PDP has dealt with overwhelming internal crisis. In the National Assembly, dominated by the same party, silent wars have raged between the executive and the legislature. 5 months into the year, 2013 budget had remained a subject of dispute, with the presidency and the lawmakers testing out one another in a game of who blinks first. While the party struggled to live beyond the crisis created by the emergence of the national chairman, Bamanga Tuko, the selection of the chairman of the BOT further inflicted a deep cut into the party's unity. Many observers say that more than anything else, the uncertain political ambition of President Jonathan has threatened the strength of the PDP as the acclaimed largest party in Africa. Most of those opposed to the likely second-term bid of the president, including 7 state governors, are from the PDP. Infighting in the national executive of the party, leading to the sack of the former national secretary and auditor, has left one of the leaders and former president Olusegun Obasanjo out in the cold. Rivers State chapter of the party has known no peace since the brewing feud between the state governor and the president. The easy interpretation of all these may be that if the Governors Forum is hijacked, it must have been by those authorized by the ruling party. And if the party is overcome the current test of its unity, it must look inward for the cause of the presumed rebellion. Others who spoke at the meeting include the Senate Majority Leader, Senator Victor Ndoma Egba, House of Representatives Deputy Leader, Leo Ogo, and Elder Statesman, Chief Edwin Clark, said the meeting is a welcome development and pledged their total support for the party.
PDP governors of the South-South we found it necessary to convene at this time the history of the party and of the nation. There is no doubt that today this country is headed by the president of the South-South, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who was sworn in as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria after the last election less than 2 years ago. I'm emphasizing that it is less than 2 years ago that he was sworn in. I'm sure you understand what that means. And for somebody who has been in office less than 2 years ago, we believe, and strongly so, that in this period he has made a mark.
We assure the party of the support of members of the National Assembly. The National Assembly, like any other parliament, is a very peculiar institution because we are usually torn between several loyalties, if I may use that word. But I want to assure you all that in spite of the peculiarities of our institution, we remain true party men and true patriots. And everything we do, think or say is for the best interests of Nigeria and Nigerians. And we do believe that as a house, we believe in our great party, we are great party loyalists, and we will work as directed by the party. We also want to state very clearly that the House of Representatives is made up of over 360 people with various divergent views. So sometimes when you see some level of argument on the floor, don't get too offended, because the Constitution guarantees that clear freedom of opinion. But the truth about it is that we are party loyalists. We will work for this great party. We will do all we can to take our great party to the realm of amazing grace. I will further want to state, Mr. Chairman, our great party leaders, that at a zone, we must do all we can to be very united. God has given us a great opportunity today, and we are lucky to have the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from this geopolitical zone. Let all of us adopt the clear principles of we disagreeing to agree. We must be united in everything we do, and as a united front, we can take our interests collectively into the great project Nigeria.
So this meeting is a very good meeting. I'm ready to attend, even though one is getting very old. But we have a duty. Sometimes I begin to wonder, when I listen to the debates in the National Assembly, and I used to say, are we there at all? But sometimes when I listen, I think the boys and the girls are doing very well. Let us move together.
Months to the governorship election in Anambra State, aspirants are beginning to emerge. In subsequent edition of the program, we will x-ray the contenders and pretenders. Thank you so much for watching. Let's do it again next week. I remain yours, Uzonna Ononye.